How's it going? Just making sure everything is working before I get started. Looks good. It's public. This is running. How's it going? Just making sure everything is working. Doing multi-streaming, so just checking. Let's see. Oh, that one had an issue again. Amazon Live is a little difficult sometimes. All right, it looks like it's working. Another stream, another drink review, but I also have a snack to try out as well. So we've got this interesting one called Spritzi. I have tried the other flavor. This was the strawberry dragonfruit one. They call it a coffee brew, cold brew coffee tonic. And then I've got hint blackberry. I'm going to start with this one because I only have one cup. Actually, I have to get my cup. And then classic, kind of, but in a different shape, different form. Oreo minis. I'm going to get my cup real quick. All right. This is a live stream, so I can respond to any comments that I see. Obviously, if any comments are unrelated to what I'm doing, I'm not going to respond to those until I'm done with the little presentation of sorts. But anything related to what I'm showing, I will obviously try to respond to if I see it. Because I'm going to start with the hint, and then we can try the Spritzy thing. But I've only got one cup, so this is probably a better one to start with. If you never tried hint, it's basically water with flavoring, but they're kind of surprising. Anyways, that's what it looks like. Pretty simple. I'm going to go over the nutrition facts and such. This one's pretty easy. No surprise. It says contains no juice. One bottle is 16 fluid ounce, 474 milliliters, so a decent size to it. Oh, there's some stuff happening outside. Hopefully it doesn't show up in the microphone. Total fat 0 grams, 0 milligrams of sodium, 0 total sugars, 0 grams of protein, pretty much nothing somehow in here. And then for the ingredients, it says purified water and natural flavors. And that's it. The company is called Hint Inc. And they're in San Francisco, California. So that's where it's made. It says Hint is vegan and free of sugars, sweeteners, MSG, nuts, soy, gluten, and preservatives. And then they say specifically water infused with blackberry essence and other natural flavors. So I don't really know what blackberry essence is supposed to mean, but yeah. Let's do a zoom in here so you can see for yourself what it says on the bottle. There's the ingredients. We've got our nutrition facts. Bit of additional information. That's pretty much it. Is there anything on the top? Yeah. All right. Let's pop this open, try it out. Let's minimize this. And it just looks like water. I don't think I need to zoom in on this. Yeah, it looks like water, or a little bit thicker than regular water, I'd say. And you do notice that when you try it. Let's see what it smells like. It does have a berry smell to it. It's not anything super intense, but I notice it. Yeah. All right, let's try this hint blackberry out. There's definitely some flavor to it, but it's not anything intense. So if you're used to really sweet, really flavored drinks, this is going to be pretty basic tasting. But if you normally drink things like tea without sugar or other drinks, just regular water, you will notice most likely. It does feel a little bit thicker when you drink it compared to regular water somehow. And it's slightly sweet, very slightly sweet. Or at the very least it's not bitter tasting. So that's kind of what the main thing that I've noticed with these hint drinks is that they're kind of slightly sweet. I don't know how. Yeah. This one specifically, I wouldn't say this is my favorite of the hints that I've tried, but it's not bad. Yeah. Yeah, at least compared, I can't think of any other specific ones that were more noticeable with the flavor and stuff, but this one, it smells like berries. I don't know if it really tastes like much, but yeah, they're honestly not bad. They're a nice little alternative to water. Who knows what natural flavors means in reality? That I wish that companies were required to specify what natural flavors means, but sadly that's not the case. So that's all we get is purified water and natural flavors in this thing. Tastes pretty decent. It's surprising to me that again it's more a little bit on the direction of sweeter tasting. It's just probably more like regular water or something is slightly more bitter naturally, I guess, than this. But yeah, somehow tastes slightly sweet. But it's very minimal. It's not anything shocking by any means. I think it's nice. I think it's an interesting alternative. If you want a little bit of something in your water, I wouldn't drink this honestly. I wouldn't drink it all the time because who knows what natural flavors means. But I think as a occasional thing, when you don't want to just drink water and all you drink is water or tea without sugar and stuff like that, I think it's a nice little addition, little option that you can try out occasionally. So that was the blackberry hint. Yeah. All right. Next up, I'm gonna pour some water into this so it just in case. Not that the hint has much flavor to it, but just to be fair to the next drink I'm trying. Yeah. I guess regular water isn't bitter. After trying hint. Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking more along the lines of like sparkling water, but this doesn't have any carbonation. All right, next up we've got an interesting one. Let's see what their logo is. There it is. Spritzi. The specific one is called Strawberry Dragonfruit. And then they call it a cold brew coffee tonic. And there's a few other words there. Succulent, jammy, indulgent. Jammy? Succulent, jammy, indulgent. 12 fluid ounce, 355 milliliters. Let's go over the nutrition facts. Contains less than 1% juice. And 70 calories for the can. 15 milligrams of sodium. 18 total carbohydrates of that. Total sugar is 15 grams. 0 grams of protein. Then the ingredients, we've got sparkling water, cane sugar, coffee concentrate, lemon juice concentrate, and natural flavors. So the juice is coming from lemon, but they must add some sort of strawberry and dragon fruit flavoring. And then it says some marketing material. I guess I can read this. Our commitment to slinging a refreshingly honest, thoughtful brew has always been strong. By drinking Spritzi, you're making a difference too. We donate 1% of every sale to coffee farmers fighting for fair wages and sustainable farming practices worldwide, according to them. All right. It says best refrigerated, fair trade coffee with real tonic, whatever that means. I don't see anything else on here that's worth mentioning. And it says distributed by Spritzi in Chicago, Illinois. That's cool. I'm in Illinois, so. And it says one for the planet, non-GMO. That's about it. Oh, okay. 115 milligrams of caffeine in here. So that's a fair amount. I think the listing for this on Amazon says 70, like less than that maybe. I'm not sure. But the can itself says 115 milligrams of caffeine. So I would believe what's on the can here. All right. Do a little close-up of everything. There's two little characters. So I'm going to assume this is dragon fruit and this is strawberry hanging out together. Then we got that coffee or cold brew coffee tonic. Quite the name. Let's do the zoom in. There's our strawberry dragon fruit. And the 3 different words that they describe it as, I guess. We've got nutrition facts. Pretty reasonable ingredients, it looks like. Again, it says natural flavors. Who knows what that means in practice? But similar to the hint drink that I showed. Companies are not required to specify what this means. And then I got the caffeine amount and their little message. This had a label on it that I removed. That's what that stuff is. And Chicago. All right. There's a little bit more. Okay, let's pop this open, try it out. Nothing exciting on the top of the can. This is carbonated, and it's got coffee in it, plus a bunch of other stuff. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh, interesting look. So obviously this is from the coffee. Has no artificial colors. I can smell it from here. See the carbonation. Let's do a close-up smell test. Yeah, definitely smell coffee. But there is a hint of some sort of fruit smell. I don't know if I smell any lemon, although that's the juice that they have in here is 1% lemon juice. Yeah, it doesn't smell bad. It's an interesting smell, though, with the coffee and some sort of fruit. All right, let's try this out. Again, this is the Spritzi cold brew coffee tonic and strawberry dragon fruit. A little bit sweet. The coffee is definitely noticeable. And then you've got that bit of carbonation. There is some bitterness to it, for sure. Which I personally don't mind bitter drinks like tea and such. I like it. Yeah, definitely a noticeable brew of coffee. And there's a slight smoothness to it. It might be from the carbonation. Do I notice the fruit flavors? Maybe on the tail ends, there's a bit of like fruit like flavor to it. But, it's sweet, a little sweet. And the coffee is the most pronounced thing to me. The carbonation itself, at least pouring it into the cup, is pretty minimal. You see the bubbles are kind of like a smaller. It's almost similar to. It doesn't have the same mouthfeel as the nitrogen cold brew stuff, but it's kind of like in that direction. But I think it's just regular carbon dioxide. Honestly, it's very interesting. I like the flavor of it. It's different. It's something that you'll be like, okay, this is interesting. So again, the bitterness, the coffee flavor, some sweetness, which I think is pretty much as good as they can get with the level of sweetness, because it's not like gross sweetness. It's just enough to enhance the drink while also uh, not overwhelming anything with amount of sugar, just too much sugar. So I feel like they did a nice job of adding enough to offset some of the bitterness, some of the coffee, while giving you a interesting overall combination of stuff going on with the flavors. I don't really notice the lemon somehow, which that's the juice that they have in here, but it's very minimal. It's only 1% juice. Yeah, I guess there is a slight amount. So besides the bitterness, there is a little tiny bit of sourness to the drink as well. So you're combining all these different things going on. I think it's pretty interesting and unique as a drink. Let's try it from the can and see if it's any different. Yeah. I think from what I vaguely remember of the other one I tried, I don't even remember what flavor it was. I honestly prefer this one to it. I think the fruit flavors, specifically strawberry, I don't really know what dragon fruit actually tastes like, but the strawberry-esque, like berry type flavor, I think works well with this combination of stuff going on. Again, the little bit of sourness from the lemon. Let's see. Yeah, lemon juice concentrate, natural flavors, coffee concentrate, cane sugar, sparkling water. So it's pretty much everything you would expect going on. It is noticeable in the drink. And I think it's unique. I think it's interesting. It will be most likely a personal preference thing. If you like all of the stuff that's in it, you should probably like this combination. But obviously, if you don't like the bitterness of coffee, you don't like sour, like any type of sourness to your drinks or anything like that, and you want an intense amount of sugar or something, this is not going to be the type of drink for you. But if you like the combination of stuff, relatively minimal sugar, 70 calories for the can, I think is pretty reasonable. It's a 12 fluid ounce can. Yeah, I like it. This is a unique one. Again, it's the Spritzi Strawberry Dragonfruit Cold Brew Coffee Tonic. All right. Pretty interesting. Next up, got a classic Oreos Minis. So it comes in a container specifically. The one that I linked should be this exact thing. It's just a bunch of these together. It says 3.5 ounce, 99 grams. Let's go over the nutrition facts. So this is 3.5 servings per container, and each serving is, sorry, the carbonation I think is getting to me. I'll do it again. Nutrition facts: 3.5 servings per container, 9 cookies, 29 grams, and then 140 calories per serving. 6 grams of total fat. This is all per serving. So you multiply that by 3.5 if you want to know the full container. 2 grams of saturated fat, 0 grams of trans fat, 150 milligrams of sodium, 21 grams of total carbohydrates, and then it says dietary fiber less than 1 gram, 12 grams of total sugars, and then 11 grams of added sugars, whatever that means, and 1 gram of protein. Then there's very minimal amounts of iron, 1.2 milligrams, calcium, 10 milligrams, and potassium, 40 milligrams. We've got our ingredients as well, which is unbleached enriched flour, which in itself is a bunch of different components. Riboflavin, that's a B2, folic acid. I'm not going to try to read all of those off. We've also got sugar, palm oil, soybean, and or canola oil, coca, COCOA. That's the chocolate. Processed with ALKALI, alkali. Anyways, high fructose corn syrup, so that's the sweetener. Leavening, which in itself is a bunch of ingredients: salt, soy, lysine, chocolate, and artificial flavor. Contains wheat and soy, and then the company is Mondelez Global Inc. So I guess they bought Oreos at some point. And it says contains a bioengineered food ingredient and made in Mexico. So this is one of the made in Mexico Oreos, where they, there was a whole thing about that. I don't know how many years ago at this point. Let's see. I do like Oreos in general. This is just a personal thing. One of my favorite desserts would be ice cream with Oreos in it, or like a shake with Oreos in it, something like that. But I think my top tier would be strawberry cheesecake. So this is kind of within the realm of that. Anyways, here's the nutrition facts. So there is quite a bit of calories in this little container. 3.5 times 140. Here's the ingredients. I think we covered everything on here. I'll show a little bit of the front label as well. There's the size again, 3.5 ounce, 99 grams. So they're basically saying 1 ounce is serving in here. But it's going to be difficult for me to not eat this entire thing. So it's going to be a lot of calories. All right. It's got the little lid. So that's definitely designed to be saved, not eaten in one go. But yeah. It's the seal there. That's what we've got. So you get 9 cookies per serving. Oh. Definitely little Oreos. Oops. There we go. It's cute. Fair amount of stuff in the middle. Yep. Looks like an Oreo. Does it recombobulate? Yeah. All right. Want to get Oreo dust everywhere. Let's try these out. Again, these are the Oreo minis, made in Mexico version. Crunchy. I do taste some of the inside. No surprise, sweet. You've got the chocolatey part that's noticeable. The inside also. I feel like these would be good, again, for ice cream and something like that. Just pour some of them in there so you don't have to break up the cookie. That'd be nice. I don't know if I need to describe the flavor of Oreos, but you've got the chocolate. It's the actual cookie part isn't like the super sweetest aspect. More so the inside filling is going to be noticeable when you get that combination of the chocolate plus the filling, which I don't know, could you call it vanilla like filling, I guess? Yeah. Nice combination of flavors, of course. Like I said, I personally would really like to use these in some type of ice cream or something. But I mean, that's a lot of calories. But I could easily um, eat this whole thing. So it's going to be a lot. 140 times 3.5. So over maybe close to 500 calories for this. I don't really do math too well on my brain, but yeah, pretty cool. I like the smaller size sometimes. I think it works. All right, let's try the cap. Yeah, it's on there really well. All right. Anyways, that was the Oreos minis. Again, this specific one is the made in Mexico version. Seems fine, tastes fine. If you like Oreos and you want smaller Oreos, I think it's pretty decent. All right. I am done today for the little food review session. Hopefully you enjoyed it or, enjoy it after the fact at some point. All right, see ya. My call sign for this stuff is Scotty Joe Food Reviews, but I do camera equipment reviews, technology stuff, all that. See ya.